Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2. You know the vibes. Let me get this joint. Let me frame it right. That's good. For my entire life, I've answered to the name Joshua, or at least a variation of it. There was baby Josh, Joshua, Nathan, and then, finally, Josh. But lately, I've been identifying more and more with a different name. You see, my real name is Siegfried. Siegfried is the 15th track from Blonde, the sophomore album from the enigmatic and reclusive artist Frank Ocean. The title, Siegfried, is a name that belongs to a legendary hero from German and Old Norse mythology. According to one account, Siegfried fought and slew a dragon. It's funny because I actually typed slayed, but Grammarly was like, no, slew. So you know what I'm saying? We learned something today. We're gonna let it rock. Slew. He slew a dragon. Another account tells the story of Siegfried outsmarting two brothers out of a treasure as they quarreled over their inheritance. But irrespective of the account that's given of Siegfried, whether it's from Old Norse or German mythology, he's always regarded for his strength and courage. In fact, his name is synonymous with it. In the song Siegfried, Frank Ocean explores the concept of bravery from another angle. He doesn't focus on a courageous feat, but rather the fear, pain, and feelings of inadequacy that make an act of courage possible. We're gonna spend the remainder of this video analyzing the first two verses. They explore his fears regarding intimacy, fulfillment, and conformity. In the first verse, Frank describes his lover's physical beauty with such care and detail. Their speckled face, which we can infer is freckles, and the flawed crystals that hang from their ears. But despite his adoration for them, he's unable to connect with them emotionally, or as he puts it, gauge their fears. The dissonance goes beyond his intimate relationship and into his social life. He also can't relate to his peers. His peers could refer to his colleagues in the music industry, maybe his fellow celebrities who live in the very limelight he has spent the past decade evading. Peers that constantly have every aspect of their personal lives publicly scrutinized. Or maybe his idea of peers is broader. Maybe peers refers to the average American, those that are content with living the middle-class American dream, those that move and settle down with 2 kids in a swimming pool. He feels isolated, not because of a great distance between him and others, but because proximity has emphasized the differences between him and everyone else. The differences between their concepts of what it means to live a fulfilling life and his. Maybe the life he wants to live, his passions, his dreams, are something he has no realistic example of. Something that he's rejected by others for. I gotta geek out as a writer real quick. All right, so look, there's a very subtle but important difference in this line. Maybe I should move and settle, and maybe I should move, settle down, all right? Let me get in my bag real quick. The first can be read as a double entendre. On one hand, it's positive. You settle, you get married, you grow up, you become stable. But within context, it's negative, right? Remember, Frank has just expressed his feelings of discontentment. He knows he can achieve more. He knows that there's more to life than his current environment and experiences. So here, the option of 2 kids in a swimming pool isn't what he truly desires. He'd be settling for something more traditional, secure, and stable. By the time we get to the second verse, he's thinking about the wealth he's amassed. He lives over a city in a high-rise. He has money, but still, the life that he's living isn't truly fulfilling to him. When Frank realizes this, he questions if he was a fool to settle for a place with some nice views, right? So he recontextualizes the idea of settling. Luxury, money, and fame could not fulfill him. This lifestyle, irrespective of how lovely it may be, was a desire, an idea from another man's mind. To Frank, it's inauthentic. So by the time we get to the line, maybe I should move and settle down, there's a new warmth to it. It's almost as if he's embracing the idea of a traditional life because he's experienced this luxurious, grandiose. I said luxurious. He's experienced grandiosity, right? So he's like, yo, maybe I should move and settle down because maybe that's what my heart truly wants. Maybe that's why sometimes I wonder if I'm a fool myself. If my dreams and aspirations are foolish and if I should settle for someone else's idea of what my life should be. Okay, so we're finally at the part of the video that's like unscripted. And this is weird. For a long time, I've just wanted to create my own content. But due to fear, whether that be fear of past failures, future failures, current failures. I didn't. And I would start, right? I'll put a couple of things out and then I would stop and people would ask me why. And I always had a reason. I always had an excuse, whether it be other responsibilities and obligations or something coming up and something that I was dealing with in the moment. But the truth is, it was fear. And the funny thing about fear is fear breeds, right? So if you fear failure, then you'll start fearing things that are even more logical, right? So like I started having this fear of like indifference. Like, what if I put something out and people are just indifferent? What if I put something out and I put my entire heart into it and no one cares? What if I put something out and I prove to myself that I do not have the capacity to do the things that I imagined I can do? And I think for me, the easiest way to cope with that fear is to not try at all. And not trying at all is settling. Not trying at all makes it easier to settle for an idea of life that is void of creativity, an idea of life that is void of the imagination that I have. But that's inauthentic. Frank's contemplation of settling gets deeper, but when he's almost at a point of giving into the idea of conformity, his soul cries out. I'm not ready. And once again, his mind is shocked into submission. He isn't being led by a sense of heroism or morality, but fear, the fear of living an inauthentic life. And by this point, if you're still wondering what Frank or even my idea of authentic life is, it's a life that resonates with my spirit and soul. I don't really care to explain all the specifics. I don't know all the specifics. It's not a full picture. And it's not a picture I've seen before. But I'd rather live outside. I'd rather chip my pride than to lose my mind trying to fit into a picture that's already been taken. I'd rather go to jail than to live in the hell that's someone else's ideal life. Courage is being led by a greater fear than the fear that's crippling you. To me, the fear of living a mediocre life, in my eyes and God's, is greater than the fear of failure. To me, the fear of having no impact is greater than the fear of putting myself out there. To me, the fear of losing integrity with myself by not doing what I know I'm capable of is greater than the fear of being uncomfortable by putting myself out there. I guess what I'm saying is, my real name isn't Siegfried. My real name is Josh Nathan Jr., and welcome to my YouTube channel. All right, cool. So I wish I could have done an entire episode covering this song, but I don't need to because Cole Kushner from Dissect Podcast, he actually does an entire hour-long musical analysis where he covers this song. He actually has an entire season of his podcast dedicated to Blonde, the album. So I would encourage you to go check that out if you're interested in long-form musical analysis. But yeah, so this is my YouTube channel. Not gonna say I'm gonna do anything specific, no niche, just vibes. You know what I'm saying? I'm here and I'll be posting regularly. How regularly? Stay tuned. I'm not gonna make any promises right now because we all know how that goes. But comment, like, subscribe, click the bell notification if you want to be notified every time you know how this works. It's YouTube. Do the things that you need to do to stay updated. Thank you.